Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
All right, this is Marzi Montazeri of Phillip Anselmo and the Illegals, and you listen to BODS Mayhem Metal Hour with John, my man. Love rules the world.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. As always, I'm bringing you ghouls and gals, awesome interviews out there. And today, I have a special interview. I have none other than from Phillip H. Anselmo's The Illegals, Mr. Marzi Montazeri. Marzi, what's going on, brother?
Brother, you fucked that up so royally bad.
Yeah, I know. I think I'll just do another retake on that one. Hang on.
I love it. Oh, hell no. Don't retake shit. That's a classic. That's awesome. That's like me. That was like me going to the municipal court here for traffic tickets. And the sisters go, Mazzara, Montazera? I'm like, I guess you're calling me. I guess you're calling on me, but no, I love it, man. That's a great way to start this off. You got me cracking up. But it's pronounced Marzi Montazeri.
Yeah, leave it to me to screw
all well,
something
John.
up.
All good, my friend.
Oh my God, yeah, leave
Thanks
it to me.
for having me on.
It's an honor to have you on here. To be honest with you, I'm a big fan of yours for a long time. For people that don't know any information about Marzi, let me tell you, he's been around for a while. He's been around since, actually, the Pantera days, to be honest with you, and plus, we're going to get to talk about that here in a minute, and I want to just throw this out there and get this out of the way, because I think it needs to be addressed. Marzi, what about your Heaviest Texas band? What's going on with that these days? Are you working on anything at all with that?
You know, in all truth be told, I did get I revamped the band. I put a new drummer in there. I put a vocalist in the band. It's always been a three-piece, like in the tradition of the Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan and whatnot, and I sang and I played. But, the music was like being held back a little bit because, you just can't do some crazy-ass songwriting with time changes and all that and then have this other counterpart melody that's totally art to go with on top of it. I wasn't able to execute both things at once. And also the element of harmony was only existence in the recording element. So I added a vocalist. I added two brothers, one bassist, one vocalist, come from a country background, death metal and country. You only get that in Houston. And true to it, too. The Dover brothers. And they came in. I've rehearsed 4 times with them during this last break. I know that doesn't seem much, but we're all kind of apart from each other. We're not close at all. I got together with them 4 times, rehearsed some old songs, some of the new stuff I've been working on, a couple of stuff I've never played before. And when I played the show out in Houston, man, it was really well received. So that band's going to have to take its turn.
Yeah.
After the Illegals, and I almost 2,000,000% I'm putting out a record with them. And right now I'm contemplating either putting out a series of EPs, kind of like Down has been doing.
Yeah.
Or approaching a full length, EP. Maybe even doing a double. They're just going crazy or something for our first attempt. But I'm leaning more towards the EP idea. And so I'm going to get right to it when the time is right. I don't know when that time is, but it's in the near future. Obviously, the Illegals are priority. We're going to Europe. I don't know what we got in store for us. If it's a writing session with Phillip or whatnot. I know Phillip's going back on the road. I know Phil's going back out in Europe with Down in August sometime. So there might be a window of opportunity for like a writing session so we can get together, again, the Illegals that were based on New Orleans. So we plan ahead. We go down there. We'll execute. After that's said and done, and definitely coming back home to Houston. And I'm going to do a Weekend Warrior tour with Heaviest Texas.
Nice.
And around the region. Probably Louisiana. All of Texas is huge, man. And maybe hit a little bit parts of Oklahoma. But that's it, though. Just a little bit around here and test the waters, and then really focus on the recording. I'm going to put out an album out with them immediately. That's
awesome. And too, I want to throw out here, people have said, kind of sounds like the Allman Brothers / with Black Sabbath. That's quite a wow experience with music right there, you know.
You're talking about Heavy Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of Southern influences, and it's got a certain I don't know how to word it correctly. It's got a freedom to it.
Yeah.
It's got a freedom to it where it sways one way or the other. It's founded that way. It's founded on the blues, a heavy version of the blues, Skinner, Allman Brothers, and Black Sabbath most definitely. And you got to put the Van Halen element in there because you can't take that away from me. We've been raised on it.
Yeah.
Now, it don't sound like any of those bands I just mentioned. It don't sound like any of them at all. But it pays homage. I'm paying homage to them. I was just mentioning them because, they're the greats, man.
Oh, yeah.
Skinner, Allman Brothers. But, we like all kinds of Southern things. I like Blackfoot. Well, we played Train the other night. I love Blackfoot. I love the Outlaws, Marshall Tucker Band. I like them all, man. But Allman Brothers and Skinner are the top to me, man.
Yeah.
Their songwriting is in the band members and the chemistry that they had. Greg Allman's voice just kills me, man. It's so awesome.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. I want to throw it out there for everybody because Marzi is a hell of a guitar player, and his wide range of guitar playing is not just specifically heavy metal, speed metal. It covers a wide variety of music, especially like Stevie Ray Vaughan, stuff like that. So I want to throw it out there a little bit and let everybody know about your past.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I love music, John. And the listeners,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a point where they all get to experience what I've experienced through my life, which has been music as a whole. I'll pick up a 6-string classical and I'll play it. I'm not a master at it, but it's got strings on it. Like I got a multi-oud the other day. It's a nylon string, 11-string fretless, Eastern instrument. It's
wow.
a nutty instrument, man.
Jeez.
To master. I'm nowhere near it, but I love it. I love jacking with it. I got my 12-string. I don't have a fretless guitar, but I have that acoustic fretless, and steel strings, all that. And then you get the different genres. I love jazz, man. I love the blues. It's in my blood. I love like flamenco and Spanish type music. Anything with a lot of fire and heart. And I was drawn to the guitar players that played that way. When you listen to Edward Van Halen play, and when you listen to Randy Rhoads play, and then you listen to Dimebag Darrell play, man, they're cutting through your soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that's music from, it's universal language, and they took the time to actually, it's just beautiful. Fire. Stevie Ray Vaughan did it. He had the fire. Billy Gibbons, Eric Johnson, they had the fire. And all the Brits that I loved, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Richard Blackmore. They all had it, man. Eric Clapton, they all had the fire.
Yeah.
They had the fire, man.
And I'm
Richard
a fan.
Blackmore's underrated, though, man.
I'm just a fan of music, and I appreciate everything that you musicians do because I can feel it. And if you got to understand music and you got to understand where I'm coming from, I can actually feel, I feel it when you guys are playing the music back and giving it back to us as fans. So thanks for what you guys do for us.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. That means brings it full circle. That's just love going around.
Yep.
We treat everything we do with Phillip's band, with my band. It's treated with love. Kill the ego, like I always say. Ego killer. Kill that thing, man. And walk in and actually serve the master. Become an instrument yourself. Yep. Because when you're sitting there playing for a few hours, man, you're not thinking about this or that. You become an instrument. Music's like going through you. And then as you have the guitar in your hand, using it as an instrument, you become an instrument. So then you write, and then now it's gotten to a plateau where I can pay it forward and I can say where it came from, where I've learned from, who I took from, and then I can actually, I'm no critic. I'm not none of this. I'm a lover. I'm a music lover.
Yeah.
And that's the common bond that I have with Phillip. And he is an absolute music lover. We're not prejudiced at all towards any genre of music. I mean, yeah, we're not going to listen to some horse shit. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not. There's plenty of it out there. And man, we'll put on a record, be it Portal, be it Queen, be it some Celtic music from like, God knows how old. We'll put some music on and we'll study it. We'll listen to it. We observe it. And you know what we don't do? We don't talk while the music's being played. We take it in. A lost art. It's a lost art.
It is.
People can't slow down anymore to enjoy the riffs. And, even maybe with our music, but if you slow yourself down and actually take it in, it's a good thing for you. You're jibbing yourself if you're not, and a lot of musicians are writing that way now, so I think the listener is being conditioned to kind of go for that boom shot, they don't take the time to actually listen to a song build up or take turns. We are writing in the same tradition that we grew up writing in, Philip's been breaking ground ever since Pantera.
Yeah.
But we're open to do this. In the same fashion. We're not playing groove metal like he was with Pantera. This is extreme metal, and we're paying homage to every single genre of the metal scene, by putting it into one thing and kind of like we have an aggressive sound. Like I gotta say it. You can say heavy metal, but we're still out there writing songs.
Mm-hmm.
When you take a song like Pigs Kissing Pigs off the Housecore Horror Film Festival EP, that song is epic. It's long. It does all kinds of things, man. It goes slow. It does all kinds of stuff. You can't call that extreme metal, but in a way, you can,
And
it's got the elements of metal in it. It's extreme, though.
And I think so many bands are scared to play what they want to play. It's like, well, we got to play this fast because that's what it is right now. That's horse shit. I mean, come on, people.
Couldn't agree with you anymore, my friend.
It's your own music. Play what you want to play. I love the old Metallica stuff. I love the new Metallica stuff because they still break stuff down like they used to. And plus, and you guys with the Illegals bring a newer presence of music style together, I think. And that's my own opinion. And I love it.
I appreciate you noticing it because it is happening during a time where, again, I would say the kids are not even completely aware of the formula they're writing.
Yeah.
They're like falling into these pitfalls, these traps, and they're not even knowing. Because their idols and their people they're listening to they don't have a solid foundation.
Yep.
They're just going at it either for greed purposes or, popularity purposes, fame, whatnot. But the actual love, man, the love for the music, the love for the song, the love. And when you used to put on an album or a cassette or whatever, a CD of a band that you loved and you were going through something in your life, maybe a lady broke your heart. Maybe a man broke a lady's heart. Maybe something happened. Maybe there was a death in the family. Maybe something happened. And that song that came on made you feel like you were alive. It meant something to you. That's what the universal gift that this thing brings. And when that time happens, when you're listening to a piece of music, when you're vulnerable and you're down, man, you know what? That artist better be taken care of that song, man.
Yeah.
It better have done it justice. Because, words are being misused, licks are being misused, equipment's being misused, and engineers and producers, they're all doing it for a wrong reason. Not all of them, man, but I would say most of them. Most of them are like, they're temporarily shifted,
Mm-hmm.
Curved, sideswiped this way and that way, where they don't see the path anymore, man.
Yeah,
they're falling off the path, and they see what the path that had been created for them because he says, okay, well, you go down this way, you make money. And like you were saying, man, the art's gone, the love of it, you're taking your time and doing things right for it. It's just a vanishing art. We've managed to do that in this time with Walkthrough X. It's only War the Gargantuas and the Housecore Horror Film Festival. Those material and those records, it's just on this day and time, are breaking all the rules, man.
Yeah.
Even in recording and mixing it. We didn't go big production on it at all. We did it at Phillips, and we put it out pretty raw.
Since the new album dropped, Walking Through Exits Only came out, to me it seems like when it first came out, it just hit and just went off. How's the fans' reaction when you're for the new album, Marzi?
It's been well received, man. I I can't even begin to tell you the love that I get on the Steven Taylor, Blue, our drummer, and obviously the King, Phillip.
Yeah.
It's been very well received. There's been a lot of love. You know, with Phillip, man, let's just cut through the shit. With Phillip being Pantera, and Pantera having like what happened, and all the shit going on between, online and stuff like that, between Reunion and Vinnie Paul and this and that. You get a lot of haters out there, man. You get a lot of negativity. Some just people I don't even know. They take their time to go. Actually, they wouldn't never say any of this to his face. But on the Pantera pages and all that, there's a lot of haters. What I'm getting to is this. You go to Phillip H. Anselmo and the Illegals pages, we got about 170,000 fans, which is, we're just a starting band.
Yeah.
There's no shit talking, bro. Mm-hmm. There ain't. Well, we don't even have to, monitor or nothing. People are coming in there and they're receiving us. They're accepting that we are a brand new band. Yes, we have the lead vocalist of Down and Pantera, the unmistakable voice of Phillip H. Anselmo, and his lyricism. It's coming up through, but I think we're now being recognized for what we are, which is not Down or not Pantera. We're shit, man. My name is Marzi, and then we got Steve, and we got Blue in the band.
Yep.
So there's the similarity between that and Pantera. I got curly hair. Dimebag was a king of guitar players, man. He's the best metal guitar player to ever live. I'm not even trying to even compare myself or be anything. I am going to do what I've been doing since I was a little kid. Yep. I'm going to be Marzi. And I think that's what Dimebag loved about me, and I think that's what I loved about Dimebag. When we sat there to play next to each other, from the first day we met to every time we met after that, through Little Marshall half-stack rigs and stuff like that, when he played, man, I'd sit there and smile. Because it was crazy, man. It was like, two guitar players that came from the school, Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, that were born in Texas, one in Arlington, raised in Texas, one in Houston. So, yeah, the admiration was there because guitar players, egomaniacs. You can't sit there they're trying to show each other off. When him and I sat in front of each other, we weren't trying to do that. He had his licks, I had my licks. I loved the way he played. Yeah. I still love the way he plays. He's the most consistent guitar player I've ever seen in my life. I've seen fusion dudes have bad days. This dude would be obliviated, man, drunk. Where I couldn't walk, I'd drink with him. I couldn't even walk. He'd get on stage and he would tear it apart. I have stories about Dimebag for days, man. He was the most consistent badass that ever lived. And, man, and if you ever ask me about a Pantera reunion, in my opinion, which I just asked myself, and I'll tell you, how the fuck can you have a reunion when there's a band member? It's like a Led Zeppelin reunion. What are you going to do, bring John Bonham back?
Yeah.
If Eddie Van Halen, God forsake, something happened to him when he passed away, who are you going to get to play guitar for a Van Halen reunion?
Nobody. You
answered that question. Thank you. Who do you get to play a Pantera reunion? The same answer that goes for the Van Halen one.
Yeah, nobody.
There is no. But if you're talking tribute, then yeah. If you're talking tribute, then yeah. And you know who you go get? You go get that kid. I forget his name on YouTube. Play the Dimebag licks note for note. You go get that kid. He's got Dime spirit in him. You get him to play a couple of songs. You get Zach Wilde because he was, Don's buddy, and Don loved Zach. You do something like that. You get homage going.
Well, you
Terry
too. You play some songs.
And those guys all loved him. Yeah. I think a tribute show like that was more appropriate than. This is my opinion, and that's it.
Well, no, I agree. I totally agree with you. And I think you should be up there doing a couple of songs, too. I mean, hell, man, you grew up with him as well. You met him and everything and was friends with him, so share it all right.
My best guitar player friend, ever to this day, man. I loved them. All my friends in Houston that were with me, they all befriended Dime through me. We all, treated everybody exactly the same. We had such a freaking good time, man, when Pantera would come to town. I mean, this was prior to me and Phillip being so tight that we were in a band together. We were friends, but he'd do his own thing, and Rex was doing his own, Vinny was doing things. But just me and Dime were like, that was my buddy. So we would all go hang out with Dimebag, man. And it was like always just, dude, a big joke session, Yeah. You'd be crying. You knew you would be laughing your ass off, just like outrageous shit. Nobody ever would be harmed. But it would just be fucking funny as hell, man. Sometimes, some people would get sore from getting punched or something. Maybe it was nothing seriously bad,
Yeah.
He wasn't harming anybody. Well, he wasn't harming anybody when he was around in Houston. I don't know what he did to his friends in Dallas and whatnot. He was a nutty one, man. Rest his soul, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Brocky too, man. He was another cool, great soul. Rest his soul too. He just passed away, man.
Yeah, I had the honor actually had the honor of seeing Pantera play on Ozfest, and seeing Don Well on the guitar was just an experience that I wish people could still have gotten, but unfortunately, they can't. But still, his music still lives on, regardless. We're not going to let it die. And
it will live on forever. It will live on forever. What he did, man, I'm telling you, man. I've seen you feel the effects of it.
Oh yeah, you do.
There will never ever be another one. You know, I've said that in the Randall interview when they did it with me, and it was the same goes with Stevie Ray Vaughan. There just never will be another one. Do what you want. You'll just be imitating. That's a lot of soul searching those guys did.
Oh God, yeah.
A lot of dedication, a lot of love, and they were born in it, born into it.
And also got the privilege to meet Phil at Rock on the Range 2 weeks ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a really cool, down-to-earth guy. And I told him how much inspiration his music meant to me growing up and stuff. And just his reaction and just almost hitting the floor, him hitting the floor on it was just really cool. I mean, you could just tell he really appreciated a fan. I'm just a fan, man. You guys make it easy for me for what I'm doing because you guys give me the inspiration to do this. So it's just cool to give it back to you all.
And, likewise. And, the thing is, until you meet him, which most people do, they have the same reaction.
Yeah.
The rest of it is much what you read and people's stupid opinions and that. You meet Phillip, you're like, dang. He's the warmest, kindest, most loving guy there is,
Oh, yeah.
Big Papa Phil, man. He's my brother. I love him. He's always opened his doors to me. And Super Joe and Ritual. In the Illegals, just him and his lady Kate Richardson, they're just absolutely, man. I'm telling you, man, I ain't seen people work this hard in my life. Like I don't even get it sometimes. Like we'll go rehearse with the Illegals. I'll barely see Phillip, man. I'll barely see Kate. I'm not kidding, and they're on tour. They just got off tour with Down.
Yeah.
They're turning around, going out and tour with the Illegals. They're coming back to turn around, going back out with Down. There's some hardworking people. And let me tell you, it's just not as easy as I just made it sound through a couple of words. Okay, man, she gets down with it. There's a lot to do, man. Touring and getting things ready and all the personnel that you have to deal with. Every bit of it has to be calculated and it has to be done right. And, man, our tours have been successful. Very successful due to that reason, because she runs house score and it's a house score, and her and Phillip and the house score team itself, it's a family. So but it functions, man. It functions like a badass business because you know what? Nobody gets let down, and we don't let the fans down.
Yeah.
And the crew is killer, and it's just a bunch of brothers going out on the road. We're very professional. We go out there and we do execute and we do what we do. And that's what we're doing it. But everything else that has to be handled, it does it. And I have, my lady on my end takes care of all my stuff. And if anybody wants to know anything really about me, Marzi Montazeri, I put a .com at the end of it. My girl Danya did it. She killed it, man. And there's info news out there and merchandise and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I reached out and like a couple hours later, bam, she messaged me right back, said, "Hey, Marzi wants to do this." I was like, "Cool."
Yeah, man. Yeah. We have a good team on our hand because, man, I don't have time personally. I whatever time I got, you better believe, man. Even if it's sitting on a toilet, you better believe I want to get a string guitar in my hand because there ain't that much time during the day. You never know when a lick might come to your head. Or you might accidentally just play on the guitar. So, you need to be, it's like being out there fishing, man. You got to get out there and fish. And that's for a self-taught guitar player. I guess maybe a lot of school cats that I absolutely adore and respect. Some of them may not take this fishing route that I take because they're musical about it. I kind of hear things in my head, and then I kind of go chase after it.
Yeah.
I still, to this day, though, John, I tell you, I'm still learning and looking really forward to learning more about music and the guitar itself.
Yeah.
and surrounded, you know, and see a lot of killer guitarists. In the Randall family, there's a group of Swedish guitar players that are just unbelievable. You know, one of them being this cat named Per Nilsson from a band called Scar Symmetry. I call him the Swedish Eric Johnson.
Yeah.
He's a nice, humble man, and he just is terrifying on that guitar, man. He has such a command, and he's very musically, you know, developed. So it's really wonderful to watch him play. And he loves Frank Zappa. You got to love anybody that loves Frank Zappa.
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
genius, musical genius.
No matter if you've been around for 30 years in music as a guitarist, you're always trying to learn new stuff, and you're always trying to up your game as a guitarist.
Absolutely. You're always paying your dues, man. You never stop. It's like, you know, there's a purpose of living, you know. If you're trying to, let's say, master a technique and you master it, then what do you do then? Just kick back? No, man. There's plenty more. You know what it does to you? You know when they say the old saying, when you find something or you learn something, you find out how much you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just a mere obvious for me because, you know, I'm constantly I'm at it on the guitar, you know, because I truly love it. I love the way it just feels in my hands. And to me, it's just so awesome, man. You can get a pick or your fingers and you can pluck something, put this other hand somewhere, and just these sounds come out. Yeah. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, if it's had the same effect on me since I was a little kid, I really can't tell you any different, except I love it more now because I'm like, I know that I can make these certain noises, you know? Yeah. I can go here and I can go there. So, you know, it's been a big exploration, man. Mm-hmm. You know, and as anybody does anything, you learn some, you put it in your repertoire, and you go for more, for more till your body stops ticking.
Exactly.
And hopefully by that time, you have left behind, you know, a body of work like Randy Rhoads, Dimebag Darrell, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. Are you guys writing any new material right now for the sophomore album for the Illegals?
There has been ideas and riffs, and we have actually executed a couple. Phillip's got this one song. Prior to us finishing the tour, I had a couple of riffs we started playing around with. So, yeah, man, Sophomore Attempt is definitely due for the Illegals. And, man, I cannot wait because just like the first one, it's almost like it's very unpredictable. When we were growing up, John, I'm sure maybe you had the same experience. You had your favorite band, and you look forward to what that band was going to do next.
Yeah.
You look forward to their next album. You look forward to the art that was going to be on that album. You wanted to open it up, read the lyrics. You know what? You didn't have any clue to what it was going to sound like because the thing called formula was only in pop music then. Rock and roll artists were breaking ground. They were doing whatever they wanted to, and that's what rock and roll was, man. It wasn't wearing a top hat and then screaming 1 minute and then singing a pretty melody like all those other screamer bands are doing. Man, screw you, man. Do something different. And you know what I mean? That element, that exciting element of it was gone. Man, I can tell you personally that, you know, I feel that excitement about the Illegals album. You're damn right, dude. It's like the most anticipated record I'm looking forward to. You know, I have my favorite bands and all that, but, man, I'm really looking forward to the Illegals' next record and being a part of it, being an essential part of it and bringing ultimately 5,000% to the table where in the end, which end up being 25%, a quarter of this band, you know?
Yeah.
So I do my homework and I do my riff writing and do all that to bring something to the table when the time comes. And you can't ask for a better arranger and a songwriter and a guy that can take your riffs and say, man, maybe you should do this, maybe you do that, and put that over here, and put that, or altogether just welcome it entirely.
Yeah.
Then Phillip. When he comes to that, again, he's just like this wide open, intelligent being when it comes to musical choices, and you know, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does, and you know, it amazes me how he does down with his voice and then goes straight to the Illegals. That has to take a toll on him, you know.
So different.
Yeah. God,
so different. You know, he mentions it at practice, you know, he's like, you know, he says, like, yeah, I'm going to break the old voice in, mix to this, and then he makes it sound like it's going to be a hard task, and then he gets in there and he just slays. He just kills it, you know. But I know what he's saying. Because you know, it's not like the guitar style you're going to change up, you know.
Yeah.
your muscles and your voice, man, this is something very difficult.
It is.
I mean, I admire him because I admire any vocalist out there, because when you're out there, when the Illegals are out there, you can see it in all the live footage. Every song is like a round, a heavyweight fight. Every one of us is out there doing it too. It's just not me. It's not just Phillip Blues. I mean, we are getting it after it. I mean, I can't, your heart, it's something else. We're not just playing our instrument. It becomes something else. And when you take, 2 songs gone by and you take a break, I go back. I mean, Phillip usually almost walk back at the same time, grab a sip of water, grab a sip of beer or something. You know what? He's got to turn back around and go out there. And I'm glad it's him, not me.
And these songs, man.
I don't have the breath for it.
Yeah.
And, he's a monster, man.
And
he's
these songs.
He's a beast.
And these songs from you guys, they'll hit you in the face and keep right on going. It's nonstop.
Oh, yeah. The only one that actually, again, has parts that depart and go into very, very clean parts, and Phillip does the melody and all that, in our repertoire, our body of work, it's a song called Pigs Kissing Pig. It gets not a popular one by any means, because it came out on the Scion, put it out in the House School Horror Film Festival. It's got that song and another song called Ugly Mug. I urge people to go listen to that, especially Pigs, because it's an epic song.
I'll have to get that.
Pigs is Phillip H. Anselmo and the Illegals at their best, because it actually captures a lot of us, man, in one song. And I'm not going to say you listen to it and you're gonna get the gist of the band. No, in the next song that we do, man, the next, and the next, every song we'll do on the next record will be just like in our tradition of this writing we've done previously, which will stand on its own and will be entirely different from the other.
That's good.
The only thing similar about it will be Phillip's voice and, the musicians playing it.
That's good. And we're going back to doing your own stuff. That's it. Plain and simple.
Yes. And the thing about Heaviest Texas, which is killer about it, which is it's completely, it's night and day. Phillip and the Illegals are extreme metal. We're going to push it, and not for technical sake, but, an expression, an extreme expression.
Yeah.
Especially it comes handy in today's work. With Heaviest Texas, I'm staying true to my roots, and which are blues-based. So you're going to have those elements of groove and stuff that have been done before, but I'm going to be doing it in my own new way. So that there's more acceptable, I guess, grooves. So with the Illegals, we go over people's heads a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes it's a wonderful thing. They sit there and they watch us. There's a pit going on, but in the same time, the kids are in the pit running around. They're looking at you.
Yeah.
And some of them get it's like, well, it's awesome. That means we're getting their attention, and the attention is what's being robbed from them due to excess of, again, horse shit.
Yep.
That just put out there. There's so much shit. There's so much crap out there. They're drowning in it. They don't even notice it, And they're like, oh, I like this song. I like that song. No, you don't. You just heard it a whole bunch of times. Go put on an old Sabbath record. Put on a Pantera record, and do Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Pink Floyd, or something like that. You're not going to hear those bands have a bad song. Pick any song, and you're going to notice a band that gave it all they had on each track.
Mm-hmm. Even Sabbath with Ozzy and Dio, they both made great music. And I know people's gonna hate me for saying that, but it's the truth.
No, man, I am not. Look, I'm not gonna argue the Dio factor at all, man, at all. Heaven and Hell is just a big part of my life, a ginormous part of my life. I got that record when it came out. The first day it came out, I listened to it. I'd go to school. And then I run home and put on that record, man. As soon as side one was over, side two. I knew it backwards. Man, for Halloween, this is a true story. For Halloween, our English teacher wanted us to write a poem. Listen now, I do write poems, and I do write lyrics, and I'm not bad at it. And I'm not a cheat, but I'm going to tell you a cheat story right now. I, sarcastically, I wrote the lyrics for Lady Evil from Heaven and Hell, word for word down, and then as a joke almost to show to my friends, heavy metal dudes, and go, but man, my teacher really thought I did it. She thought I wrote it. Put it out in the front of the classroom for the whole world to see. She was like, man, Marzi Montazeri's work is awesome. And then my friends were like, man, that's fucking Black Sabbath. That was my Dio story, man. I love that record. I love Black Sabbath with Dio. I love both records with him.
And you're
I
standing
love
there
what
going,
they did with Ian Gillan, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure after Ian Gillan if I know what the heck happened.
No,
I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar. Phillip played with Iommi, and not just like one or two songs that ended up on that record. They did a whole slew of songs, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just, man, that would be an awesome release one day.
Yeah, that would
I think
be cool.
they recorded 6 or 7 songs. I mean, can you imagine Tony Iommi and Phillip H. Anselmo? I mean, they you can hear a couple of songs out now, but
Yeah.
to be able to hear the rest of it recorded, that would be awesome, man.
That would be awesome. That would be really
Phillip's,
cool as hell.
Phillip's one of the last ones, you know. I mean, Ozzy's still around, but Ozzy's older, and maybe his fire is not, the same as, the commercialism is definitely set in. You can tell in the sound, in the way the music he puts out sounds. But Phillip, man, you look at him, man, he's like a wounded dog, man.
Yeah.
He's just fighting, man. He is fighting. He's a raging bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, the way he is, he is very down to earth. You would not think that this is the guy that, the lead vocals of Pantera, and people meet rock stars and they got enormous egos and stuff like that. Phillip is very, very down to earth.
Yes, he is.
Powerful man.
Yep.
Trust me. He knows what he's doing.
Very intimidating, too, when you try to talk to him.
But, he's very humble.
Yeah, he is.
And he speaks his words, man, with commitment and passion. And I think that's why sometimes it can be taken as intimidation. But he means what he says, Sometimes people can't take that, they need things to be sugar-coated.
Exactly.
He's not the sugar-coating kind.
Do you guys
It's
prefer...
good to be truthful.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys prefer clubs or festivals with the illegals, or does it even really matter as long as you got a stage to hit it at?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It does not matter. And I'm on to tell you, it does not matter. If you grabbed a couple of your buddies and came to our rehearsals in the Lair in Louisiana,
mm-hmm.
you would see the legal show. You would see the same thing you would see live. We get into it, man. We just don't know any other way to do it. So if there was 20 people there, if there were 200, if in a small club, which we did last run, and if it was the previous run where we did festivals in Canada and we did bigger venues, it's the same, man. It is the same. The love and the passion we get, we go there and we kill it. We don't know anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not like some gimmick I'm telling you. I personally don't know anything else. I look at my band members. I know Phillip, and I can speak for them. They're doing the same thing as I'm doing. They're bleeding out there. We're not holding anything back. We're not the rock stars. We're musicians. We're musicians that are saying something, and the level of intensity that we're putting into it is the level of. It's the fire that we believe in it, man. I think that's why it comes out the way it comes out.
You can feel it as a fan, honestly.
I love our material. I mean, we're a live band. I love playing the material live. I love listening to it and recordings. But if I'm at a party or somebody has it, I don't jam to it every day. I don't, man. I've listened to it and I've learned from it. Put it that way. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to the next one. I've learned my lesson. I'm looking forward to the next one to execute the things that I've learned in the past on the next one. And then, and then there'll be another one, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then we'll just keep on bringing it back. And in the end of the day, I hope the fans, they get it. I hope it gets to a point where the kids start, trying to emulate what we're doing, not what all these, thousands of bands are copying the same band. And what we're doing is soul searching. You go inside, you feel a certain way, and you try to group a number of notes together and kind of complement that.
Yeah.
A filmmaker does the same thing. A poet does it. An artist uses different colors to do it. We use notes, drums, bass, guitar. We don't have keyboards or synthesizers. We do have a lot of array of effects and noises that I do with my guitar. So that's our advantage. And we got all the acoustic stuff that we have not even done yet.
Wow, I can't wait to hear that.
Nope.
That should be awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'm a fan just like you. Just don't ever forget that.
Yeah.
And so is my lead singer, man. That
Oh,
dude
God,
is a
yeah.
big fan.
Yeah, Phillip says he listens to all kinds of music, and plus he likes hearing different bands and stuff. And I actually was going to give him a copy of one of the bands that I support a lot on here on BODS Mayhem Hour, and I actually forgot to take an extra one, so I'll kick myself in the butt again.
Do it, man. Do it. You need to do it. You need to do it because, Phillip's turned me on to tons of stuff. And okay, Portal, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just name that band alone. He turned me on to Portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Adam from the band Hymns turned Phillip to it's just a circle, man. I've been at Phillip's house when Mike Williams would come over like a little kid with a bunch of CDs. Have you heard this? And I swear, like little kids, man, like high school kids, are just fired up, all passionate. Man, have you heard this? No, man, have you heard this? And I would get to hear it sometimes, and that's the thing Anselmo brings for me. It's like if I go to his house, it's like, oh, dude, check this out. I'll bring some stuff with me too. It's like those are the gifts we share with each other. Have you heard this guy's band? Have you heard this? Hey, man, these guys are from Arkansas, or they call Hymns. It's like, what? It's like Arkansas. What do they sound like? And you put it on, and you're like, oh my God, what just happened? People, check out that band, please, for God's sake. HYMNS. Newly signed band to Housecore Records. Hymns. HYMNS. Look them up on Facebook.
Okay.
Look them up on Housecore. Look them up anywhere. And dig on them, man.
Yeah, there's
give them a chance.
I want to get your
breaking all the rules.
I want to get your address after we get off, after we do this interview, because I got a couple of CDs I want to send you from bands that I support around locally. And
awesome.
I just gotta say this. This is an awesome interview. It's just two guys sitting here talking about music. I mean, honestly, this is how it all revolves. Everybody, it's just one big circle of just love of music and appreciate what you have around you.
That's right.
Awesome. Now
it should be. That's how it should be, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's exactly right. I think a lot of bands have forgotten that. It's all about egos. Push the damn egos aside. It's the fans that's helping you. Remember that.
We wouldn't, man. Yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere for our fans. Our fans. I've said it in every interview. They're a new breed of kids.
Yes, they are.
Kids, they're there to see us. Okay, so they're familiar with the music. They're familiar with the lyrics. They're starting to hear me talk. They know Phillip from the past. They hear him talk. They're getting to know Steven. They're getting to know Blue. They're getting to know that we're not. There's these coming out here to be like flinging our guitars around our necks and trying to go for some kind of false perception, man. We're wearing it. Each one of us is wearing it on his sleeve, man.
Marzi,
we're a heart and soul band, and we're a people's band once again.
Yeah.
And when we go out there, if you want to meet any of us, there's a damn good chance that you will, because none of us go hiding.
That's
especially
awesome.
After shows. We don't go hiding, man. We come right out. You know something? I don't fling picks out. I know people probably would like for me to fling it out. I go out there and I'll give them to you. And your chances of getting them is a lot higher. If you want a guitar pick from me, I'll give it to you. Come look for me in the bus. Stand in line or do whatever you have to do. I'll put one in your hand myself. I tried throwing one out, man. It kind of got violent, and I'm not, it just gets crazy, dude. Our fans are damn crazy. But you know what? I felt so much love, and I saw so much heart on these last two Illegals tour that it solidified everything, man. And it made me just, it took all the negative that you go through in life. It just made it all worth it. And you're like, this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
This is why I take it on the chin. It's why I take everything that comes my way negative, and I take it because at the end of the day, I fight. I pick up a guitar. I write riffs. I bring something to the table. And then, look what happened prior to this 4 years ago. Phillip and I got together. There was ideas. Those ideas got bigger and bigger and bigger. There were demos. There was another demo. Then there was an attempt to making a record. And then there was, layering of the tracks. All those things you got to do. It's beautiful, man. And now, again, at the end of this, I'll say this. I'm really looking forward to that sophomore 10 by the Illegals jamming with Phillip, Blue, and Steve, and seeing what we come up with.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah, exactly, man. Looks like you guys are going to kick off the Technicians of Distortion tour Thursday, June 12th, and that's going to be over in Switzerland. So
Switzerland, yes.
Yeah. So
Taking it all the way up to Moscow,
Yeah.
Eastern Europe, coming back again where we started off, close by, in Denmark, and then going. So we're doing this whole European thing, man, going around, coming back, and then taking off.
I hope to one day get to come out and see you guys perform. It's always awesome to see Phil play, and thankfully I've got to see him play 3 or 4 times. Hopefully get to see you, man, finally, you know?
Yeah, man, you got to see the Illegals.
Got to.
Before it's over. You got to.
That's exactly right. Marzi.
We're a different thing going on.
Yes, but it's
Altogether.
good, though. But it's good, though. That's what we need. That's what music needs right now. We need different, true metal bands. We need
Thank you. I agree with you.
I want to thank you for taking time out to do this interview. This has been a hell of an interview, really good interview. You know, I support, this show is designed to support all the locals, anybody and everybody with metal music, horror punk music. I love horror punk music and things like that. So, like I said earlier, thank you as a fan for your guys' music, and I definitely will be supporting the Illegals as always on here. I play your all's music when I can, but like I said, thank you so much as a fan.
And thank you, man. And thank you. And I want to extend my love and appreciation and gratitude to all of your listeners, too. All the heavy metal fans across the universe. Here and gone, to all of them. I pay tribute and respect to, and all the love in the world to you, John, and all the listeners.
Thank you, man. That means a lot.
And thank you for having me.
Before I let you go, you care to do a promo for the show, Marzi?
You know I would love to. All right. This is Marzi Montazeri of Phillip Anselmo and the Illegals, and you listen to BODS Mayhem Metal Hour with John, my man. Love rules the world.
Everybody stick around. Have a good weekend. Awesome. Thanks, Marzi.
You bet, John. Thank you, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.